What a headshot! What a head!
How's it, guys? This is Dayvy, FPL, and welcome back to the Fantasy Premier League video here on my channel. Now in this video, I'll be going through my final team selection for the final game week 38. So the ultimate game week is upon us. Whether you guys are happy or sad that the Premier League is ending, this time next week, we're probably going to be bored out of our minds with no FPL content. Now in this video, I'll be going over a quick review of how double game week 37 ended. We had those two fixtures last night. I'll show you guys the overall rank update, as well as the overall points update. We did get a nice little green arrow in game week 37. Then I'm going to jump into all that goodness for final game week 38, one free transfer, and quite a bit of money in the bank. Let's see if we can upgrade the squad with some 1 week punts. So if you guys are interested to see the final team selection of the 23/24 FPL season, sit back, relax, and let's get straight into it. So going over the quick review of how double game week 37 ended, as you guys can see, I got a green arrow to the 4.5k mark. So that was thanks to the fact that we scored 143 points with the bench boost and a very decent game week rank of 105k. Now in terms of overall points, 2,526 points, and as mentioned, one free transfer and 4.1 in the bank for game week 38. So how did your game week go? Was it a strong week? Was it a bad week? Did anyone actually get a red arrow on the bench boost? As that's quite unlucky. Also, I want to see what your overall rank target is for game week 38's conclusion. I just want to stay within the top 5k. But let's get on to where that 143 points came from, or at least the second half of game week 37, as we already covered the first fixtures in the transfer plan. So our bench boost ended up with a very respectable plus 20 points. I mentioned this over on Twitter early in the week, but how many points would you guys say is a dub for the bench boost? I generally say 15 points, but with the double game week, I would have taken anything 20 plus. So last night we had those United fixtures, Onana and Garnacho, both only getting 2 points though. So they ended the game week with 5 and 4 points respectively. It was thanks to that Arsenal clean sheet from Ben White and Gabriel in the first half of game week 37 that actually got us a pretty decent bench boost. So you guys can also let me know how many points you guys got on your bench boost. Don't cheat though. Don't put someone like a Cole Palmer or a Foden on your bench. What was your legit bench boost score? I think if you would have asked me would I take 20 plus points before game week 37, I would have taken it. So overall pretty happy. Now starting goalkeeper was actually outperformed by Onana. It was Petrovic, and he ended the game week with only 3 points. So if you guys did see last night, Brighton scored in about the 90th minute, and that clean sheet was wiped out after the Reece James red card. So I just wish that maybe Reece James stayed on the field, because with 11 men, the clean sheet might have been intact, but losing the clean sheet in stoppage time is pretty disappointing. Now to make matters worse, if you guys were a Gusto owner, he got an assist, a clean sheet, and was subbed off before that clean sheet loss, so you would have been pretty happy with his double-digit return. Now back line had some strong performance, but definitely not to the kind of standard of the first games. For example, Pedro Porro only got 1 point against Man City. Now this was expected though. I mentioned that you guys are going to target that Burnley fixture with these Spurs defenders, as they might get negative points against Man City. Now it wasn't that bad, but Man City did score a few goals, and that's why Pedro Porro only ended up on 1 point. Then in terms of Dan Burn last night, he had a kind of headed chance cleared off the line. I just wish that chance went in. But overall, that Newcastle defense hasn't been that great recently, but I wasn't going to take Dan Burn out before double game week. And with all those injuries, I guess this might have been an expectation. So only the 3 points, he was actually outperformed by Ben White as well as Gabriel. I don't really regret going for him. The final option though, definitely the king of game week 37, is Guardiola with the 27 pointer. Now if you guys remember a few kind of game weeks ago, we had Ben White on that double game week. He ended up on 26 points because of a yellow card, so Guardiola escaped that. But 27 points, especially the first game, 21 points, is absolutely insane, and pretty happy I went with him over Edison. He was the kind of reason we got a massive green arrow, as his ownership isn't that high, so gains could be made with those points. Now midfield department started off a bit slow. Heung-min Son yet again with the 2-pointer, but you guys know what happened with that Ortega save. So Son one-on-one, you probably would back him, but unfortunately his form at the moment isn't that great. Now did he miss on purpose? You guys can tell me in the comments, but I'm pretty sure he's a competitive athlete. So in terms of Heung-min Son, if you guys did captain him, that's quite unlucky, especially with how Erling Haaland and Cole Palmer performed. Can I tell you about Cole Palmer there? An 8-pointer last night against Brighton after that first goal, so a pretty respectable end to the game week. Now Chelsea seem to have found some form, and that's good for game week 38, as I probably will own a triple up still. Gordon also managed to get a goal but got a yellow card. So he ended up on only the 6 points, taking him to a total of 8. So Gordon has broken the away curse. If you guys don't know, he hasn't really done that well away from home. So pretty happy with that, although the ownership is quite high for the Newcastle midfielder, and potentially picked up a knock in this fixture. Also, Phil Foden kind of rounding out our midfield department, a 9 point in the first game, but only a 2 point in the second. Man City didn't destroy Spurs as much as I thought. But still, great asset to end the game week on 11 points, I'll always take that. Those double-digit returns. Now up front, it was the Erling Haaland story. After picking up 2 goals in the second game, taking him to 13 points, redeemed the blank in the first game. Now if you guys did go differential, probably was on Son or Cole Palmer, and Haaland outperformed both of them. Just was a very kind of bad game week to go against Erling Haaland, but I can understand it if you guys wanted to win those mini leagues. Our next 2 attackers weren't as exciting. Nicholas Jackson only racking up the 2 points last night, as well as Isaac against United. It's a little bit disappointing in these 2 assets. Isaac though, his ownership is so high that kind of his points were negligible, whereas Nicholas Jackson, some gains could have been made. But overall, I would have taken a top 5k finish by double game week 37, so let me know in the comments down below how your game week went, and how's that overall rank looking. Now before we jump into the double game week 38 transfer plan, I want to give you guys the context of how my team selection is currently looking with no transfers made. Now I would probably advise to keep those transfers as long as possible. If you guys don't know, in game week 38 all teams play at the exact same time, and therefore the chance of team leaks is going to be quite strong. So I will do a deadline stream coming up on Sunday 1 hour before the deadline, and then I'll confirm my moves there. So going over my starting 11 and my bench for the upcoming game week, there might be a little bit of a benching dilemma. So currently, as you guys can see, I'm benching Pedro Porro against Sheffield United away, which you never want to do. But currently, I do believe my attackers and my defenders are the strongest that they can be. We'll talk about that when I go over my defenders. Otherwise, Garnacho against Brighton, I'm actually fine benching him there, not the best form for United, and Brighton's defense isn't that bad. And then in terms of Dan Burn, you guys know Newcastle can't keep a clean sheet. Then with Onana, I'm starting Petrovic over him. He has the home game against Bournemouth. There might be a clean sheet here, and I don't own Dom Solanke, so I'm hoping there is. But I just don't trust that Manchester United defense. Now, our backline currently is going to be Guardiola against West Ham at home, a very strong fixture. He's undroppable at the moment. And then I got the double up with the Arsenal defenders. So I do think Arsenal probably have the best chance of a clean sheet this week. And because I've kind of gone for the most secure defenses in Man City and Arsenal, would you guys bench any of them for Pedro Porro? That's kind of the only benching dilemma at the moment that I'm thinking. Porro offers a massive attacking threat, but I do think Sheffield United could score. Then our midfield department, at least I'm getting some Spurs coverage with Heung-min Son, and with Richarlison out injured, he should start up front. Now the form hasn't been great for Son, but I do still expect him to do well in this fixture, and could be a differential captain out of position. Then Cole Palmer, no brainer, everyone owns him though, so the gains might not be there. And then you've got Gordon, who might have picked up a knock last night. So just watch out for this, but I expect him to be fine for the upcoming game week, but will probably be on my bench, as I look to make a midfielder transfer. Then with Phil Foden, Man City could win the title at the Etihad if they do win this fixture, and against a poor West Ham defense, I expect Phil to do well. So he's going nowhere in the squad, and I do expect him to be in the starting 11, but let's see what the leaks say. Then finally up front, Erling Haaland, our captain. This is also going nowhere. As long as Erling Haaland isn't injured, he will be my captain, as that West Ham fixture is too good. At my rank, also don't have to go differential, so there's kind of no reason not to go for him. Then our final forwards, Nicholas Jackson against Bournemouth at home. I hope that he gets back on the scoring way of things, as this is an okay fixture. Then finally with Isaac, I hope that Callum Wilson might still be out injured, as that does make Isaac a better option, as he could still be on penalties. But as you guys can see, the starting 11 does look pretty decent. With that one midfielder switch, I think the team will be quite optimal. But let me know if you would bench any of my defenders for Pedro Porro. Now let's go on to the transfer plan, and with one free transfer and 4.1 million in the bank, a big upgrade can be made, but I think the move for me is pretty set. So as I said earlier on, I'm looking to make a midfielder switch, and that midfielder is going to be Saka. Now this could be Havertz or Trossard if Saka is out injured. He picked up a knock in game week 37. Now I do still expect Saka to be back to full fitness. It seems like every game he's getting injured, and because the title's still up in the air, Arsenal have to win this fixture. Now my only slight concern is the fact that this Everton at home game might actually be tougher than we are expecting. Their defensive stats recently have actually been pretty good. But I still think this is quite a safe pick to go for. I could go for a Brennan Johnson from Spurs, but can you trust them either? I might as well just go for a sensible option with an Arsenal midfielder. Now in terms of the replacement, it will be Garnacho. However, if Gordon's out injured, I'll just take him out. as I do want some benching coverage for some potential leaks. I just feel like out of Gordon and Garnacho, you'd rather take out the United option and have enough money to do so. So this move does look quite set, however, if you do get some team leaks, it might change around, but I do expect Saka to be fine. Now, if you guys have any transfer dilemmas, comment them down below and I'll try to help you guys out. On my Discord server, where I'm slightly more active, it's a second link in the description. But now going back to the team selection, if I do the kind of Garnacho to Saka move, I will therefore bench Gordon and start Saka, so the final team selection will look as follows. I think overall this is an improvement. I think that Saka's ownership is going to skyrocket after transfers in, as the majority of managers look to replace a Bruno Fernandes. But let me know if you guys think I should make another move, for example a Brennan Johnson. Do you think the ceiling is slightly higher there? Or do you trust Arsenal to get the job done against Everton? Now I will be seeing you guys for a deadline stream 1 hour before the deadline. Hopefully I do see you guys there to finalize the team. But as mentioned, any concerns, comment them down below on my Discord server and I'll try to get back to you as soon as possible. Otherwise, I just want to say thanks for the support this season. If this is the last video I create before Game Week 38's deadline, much love and see you next season. So this is basically going to wrap the video, guys. It's going to wrap up the final video of the season. So as I said, thanks for the support and hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I will, however, be seeing you guys for a deadline stream 1 hour before the deadline on Sunday to say the final goodbyes. But for the time being, I'm signing off. It's been Dayvy FPL and I'm out. Cheers, bye.